have you heard of gold and silver coins being exchanged when that happens, or somebody has like silver coins in a garage somewhere? Are they, in your experience, have you seen them be exchanged for money or services? Do they work?
The golden coins work in Argentina, especially the Mexican ones, correct?
Uh-huh. Hey guys, Rafi here from the Endgame Investor. Last night I had the privilege to interview Rabbi Mario Roisman, a rabbi in South Florida in Miami, Temple Beth Torah of North Miami Beach. Rabbi Roisman is from Argentina. He just took a trip there. We talk about the living conditions in Argentina, what the people are doing to survive, a little bit about Argentinian politics. We discuss Milei and his strange, surprising affinity for Judaism. He is not Jewish, and what our fears are about that. Does he think that he can succeed or not? Past crises in Argentina, for example, the bail-in of 2001, where Rabbi Roisman explains that people went to sleep one night and woke up, and the government told them that their money is no longer their money. It all belongs to the government now. It's the equivalent of a bail-in, but in the end, the government will steal all of your fiat currency, whether through hyperinflation or default or taxation. It's all the same thing. The best way to protect yourself is to buy gold and silver, which we also discuss briefly, and bury it in your backyard with a Dirty Man safe. Use code ENDGAME10 at checkout at dirtymansafe.com.
Dirty boy, dirty, dirty, dirty. What the hell's going on? I thought you were anti-dirty, not pro-dirty. There's nothing kinkier to me than a filthy slopjock like you.
That is really the safest place to hide your money, because if the government takes it all or announces like they did in Argentina in 2001 that all your money is now all their money, well, the people that only had pesos back then have nothing. And the people that have gold and silver in their backyard or wherever they buried it, they have real money. And those things are used when all the fiat money is taken by force. Have a good time listening to Rabbi Roisman talk about Argentina. Hey guys, Rafi here from the Endgame Investor. And today I have with me Rabbi Mario Roisman, who is rabbi of Temple Beth Torah in North Miami Beach near Aventura, which is the synagogue that I grew up in. Rabbi Mario took over from my father, who is the rabbi emeritus of the same synagogue. And the cool thing about Mario is that he was born and raised in Argentina, right? You're from there.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. And he just came back from a trip in Argentina. So I wanted to talk to him about what is going on there, just on a day-to-day level, how people are living with hyperinflation, what is going on, how do people spend money? Do they use dollars? Do they use pesos? Do they use something else? And then we'll talk about Javier Milei and what his deal is, at least from Mario's perspective, from Rabbi Mario's perspective. So just to open this up, can you just tell us who you are, how long you lived in Argentina, when you came to the United States, how many economic crises have you lived through, how many collapsing currencies have you lived through, and what's life like when that happens?
Okay, first, thank you for having me. It's true. I know you since you were a little kid, and to see you in this capacity, in this program, it gives me so much pleasure. Yes, I was born and raised in Argentina. I left at the age of 18, went to Israel, studied my BA, my master's, my rabbinical school, came back to Argentina, served as a rabbi for 11 years, and then I have the opportunity to move to Miami, and the rest is history. I'm already 21 years here in United States. How many crises? All my life. I don't remember a situation of stability, maybe 2-3 years. Then with President Menem in 1989 for a couple of years, and then everything collapsed again. How people spend their money, actually, this is, I guess for most of those who are listening, will be hard to believe, but when you go in a restaurant now, we have a saying, you count the tomatoes and you weigh the bills, because every tomato is very expensive, but the bills, so everybody, when this moment of paying, everybody takes, and that's it, because the largest bill is 2,000 pesos, which is $2. Mm-hmm. So imagine you spend $100 in a dinner, which is expensive dinner with a lot of people. It's another topic.
So you're saying the exchange rate is about 1,000 to 1 now?
Now it's 1,000 to 1. And today, I don't know when the show will be, but as we speak today, They don't know how the markets will open because today is the day after Email was elected and after Email entered office. So the new decisions are a little bit mystery for most of the people. So no currency exchange today. Everything is open in there.
You lived through, what is it? There was in 2001, it was a default. Do people spend dollars? Is that how they live?
Okay, good question. In 2001, it was worse than default. And in 2001, one day you woke up and they told you that your money is not your money.
Right.
Which means everything you work for and you were able to save wasn't yours anymore. And I know it sounds like a tragedy for an American listener or European. I know you have people from all over the world, but when somebody tells you you can only take $300 per day from the machine, and you come to the machine and you see 300 people before you, and when it's your turn, there's not even $300. So it was desperate. I mean, a lot of wave of the Argentinian that came to Miami with thousands of families are because of that. Some of us, because we saw that the end of freedom, and some of us because they destroy you economically. But yes, this was like the last symbol of, you always think that you saw the worst. But yeah, 2001 was terrible. What's the difference between 2001 and now? 40% of poverty. Almost half of the population cannot make it to the end of the day. So the Peronist Party was an expertise. We call them the factory of poverty. They create poor people. Because if you create poor people, then you can ask them to give you the votes because you send them a frigidaire a week before the election and you escort them to be sure that they vote their candidates. And this is what happened. I'm mixing topics, so I'm fine.
Fine, yeah.
No, because I was thinking that this is what the new phenomenon of Milei did. When Milei realized that all the people are, most of the voters live on welfare and plans, and they receive a salary from the government, and the only role they have is to go and stop the street and strike, and they have no clue what they're going, closing streets in the middle of the center of Buenos Aires. You cannot walk, you cannot drive. The first thing he promises, I will finish that. I mean, I'm not taking away the salary from you, but you will need to work for the salary. And if I see one of you walking on the street and stopping other people from their freedom, you are losing that money. Because if he will say what he will have to do is, I'm taking away all that money, people will die. So it needs to be done in installments.
So do you think he has a plan?
It's very hard. He has a plan. Now, something dramatic needs to happen and will happen in the next couple of hours. It will be. But just to give an example, yesterday he was saying in the Congress, he spoke, first speech, says, there is no money, and everybody applauds.
Tengo que decírselos de nuevo, no hay plata.
What he's trying to say is to tell them the truth. Bravo, there's no money. Maybe the good part in me says they're applauding that finally somebody tells them the truth. But I think it's more than that. I think that a lot of people that elected him have no clue what they elected. They were tired of populism, tired of being deceived, tired of not having jobs, tired of the corruption, which is impossible even to explain. Because how much can you steal? 1 million, 10 million, 1 million? Talk about tens of thousands of millions. And by the way, people who were finding acts of corruption weeks before the election. A guy was with an escort girl in Europe, in a fancy yacht. Everything was documented. He won with more votes than before.
I love you. I love you. Just hold on tight.
So you will say this, yeah. So the joke was like, continue, because you're doing great. Continue that path, So you say, so nothing gets punished.
The nice thing about getting rescued is that they feed you, make you drink red wine, then you get to dance.
So he came with the promise of cleaning a little bit the house. And so what brought him to power is, number one, that he promised to finish with what he called the caste. Caste will be everybody who lives from politics forever. He's a complete outsider. The guy studied economics, and he was never part of a party. So, number one, he's very charismatic. Number three, I still need to know if he makes himself meshuggah or he is a little bit meshuggah. We will know a little bit more later. But it helped. It helped a couple of politicians. No? You can have still good ideas and at the same time play that, you know. And so he presented himself like very strong. And the truth is that he won thanks to the center-right party who lost the election, but was, to my surprise, and I voted for them, to my surprise, the day after they lost, they say all our votes should go to him. Which usually what they say is, you know, everybody go. I say we need to get rid of the Kirchners, which are the ones who domain the political sphere for 20 years. 20 years of husband, wife. Terrible.
Really? I didn't know it was that bad. What is Milei's relationship with the Jews? I know there's something there, and he says he wants to convert, and personally that makes me really nervous. I think it's a bad idea. What do you think of that? Is this something real, or is it just an act, and why the Jews? And second is in the times when you're lining up at an ATM to get cash, like in the middle of a hyperinflation, do you know anyone, or do you yourself, have you heard of gold and silver coins being exchanged when that happens, or somebody has like silver coins in a garage somewhere? Are they, in your experience, have you seen them be exchanged for money or services? Do they work?
The golden coins work in Argentina, especially the Mexican ones, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see silver, I saw gold. Let me go to Milei. It's a very good question. Let me tell your audience the beginning of his relationship with Judaism. He was a professor of economics, and he had a student, and the student asked the best questions. He looked at him and said, those are not normal questions. How do you know how to question? So you already imagine the answer. So
Is he a yeshiva student? Is he learning Gemara? Okay.
Yeah, go to yeshiva. They teach me how to ask. And say, I want to be like you. So he started studying Judaism with a Sephardic Moroccan Orthodox Jew, which is obviously different. You know, but just to clarify, it's not Chabad. It's a specific group in Argentina, which is very respected.
Mm-hmm.
But the rabbi is a rabbi that nobody knew. And now he's a celebrity because he's Milei's rabbi, which is wonderful. Now, do I think it's real? I think it's real. Being a Jew will never give you votes in Argentina. We have 180,000 Jews, where 25% are kids, 25% die over the age of voting. So it's not a game changer. Even more, he did what Bolsonaro did, which is going with the shofarot and go with the Israeli flags. It's a powerful statement. And he won, and he destroyed the other party like nobody before. So for me as an Argentinian, I feel very good in this part. I'm like you, I'm very scared. But wow, you can be with the Israeli flag in the streets and receive 56% of the votes, which means, because I need to assume the another 20% that didn't vote for him are also not anti-Semite. So, wow, my country, you have 80% pro. I don't know the numbers. Which I do know that, with a lot of respect. A lot of people have no clue what they vote. They just wanted to get rid of the others.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't know what the ideology is, but they hear freedom and they want freedom because they feel slave of a system that impovered them and the kids and the grandkids, and they need to stop that. So I think it's real. Regarding the conversion, they ask him very clearly, do you plan to convert? Say no. Why? Because there will be a lot of mitzvot, a lot of commandments I will not be able to perform if I'm the president, and I don't want to do that, which is a beautiful answer.
Right. So let me just continue with that thought. But I did see an article, maybe it was a lie, that he said he was converting. So that's not true?
No, he's not converting. He even swore yesterday, under the Gospels.
Oh,
Javier Gerardo Milei, juro por Dios y por la patria, sobre estos santos evangelios, desempeñar con lealtad y patriotismo.
He swear under the Gospels, which is a good move, because instead of rejecting if you are a goy, that's perfect. You know, you're not a Jew. You do what you need to do. I mean, yeah. So it's spiritually. And I saw Rafi, I imagine you saw that before. Spiritually, he feels that the Torah, Moses, you know, Talmud, he loves the ideas.
right.
Even something new is that in the installation, not only the cardinal spoke, but the rabbi spoke too. And you see the complicity, because it was very nice to see them. Like, this is my teacher, and the other one is the head of a church, and they have no connection. But yes, let's see. You know, one of the reasons the president before Kirchner, Mauricio Macri, which is also center-right, lost popularity is because instead of telling the people which country he inherited economically, he played the game and did alliances with Peronists against, and it didn't work. He was honest, he was good, it wasn't enough. This guy learned from him. They are allies. And he's coming with a knife and from the beginning. So let's wish him the best.
Do you think this could happen in America? The collapse of a currency, like the peso collapsing. Do you think the dollar could collapse like that? And what do you think would happen in America if that came to pass? I mean,
thank you for considering somebody who can even speak about this. I don't know. Which I do know is that we need to be very careful here, and stop spending the way we are spending. I mean, somebody will pay that. Usually it's the people, and usually that the poorest people and the one who has less.
Yeah, you don't have to be an economist to know that the American government has to stop spending. But
okay, wonderful. So I know, at least I'm in the right side.
Yeah.
In Argentina, going back, it's very sad. People lost their houses, and people couldn't pay the mortgages, and people cannot find jobs. So they have an historic opportunity, because you look at the sites, and Uruguay is doing good, and Paraguay is doing good, and Brazil, it depends who is there. No, they go from right to left, like a swing. They swing all the time. By the way, he didn't invite Lula to the inauguration. He did invite Zelensky, who came from
Ukraine.
Right. Big statement for both countries, no? I mean,
Wait, who is Lula?
Lula da Silva is the president of Brazil.
Oh, okay. Got it.
From the party of the workers, he's leftist, who came after Bolsonaro, who you know who Bolsonaro is.
Yeah.
And Bolsonaro, Milei looks a lot to Bolsonaro when it comes to policies. Let's see what he will do with all that promises. That's so far. Okay.
Yeah, well, Milei is very exciting, but he also makes me nervous. I'm glad to hear he's not converting. That makes me a little bit less nervous. And yeah, I think his connection is real. I don't know exactly what he's going to do with it. I don't know what he can do, because there's still a system in place, and he's got to blow as much of it up as he can without hurting too many people. It seems like an impossible job, but
it looks like. But going back to the Jewishness, he just confirmed that his rabbi, the one we mentioned before, is the new ambassador of Argentina in Israel.
Oh.
He just confirmed that the person we just did the funeral for Mom is the new ambassador of Argentina in United States, which are all the people that were part of his circle of loyalty. You know, those positions are always very sensitive. You don't choose diplomats, you choose people you trust.
Right.
So Israel and United States, already we know who the ambassadors are, and let's see. This is what happened when somebody loses the election. All the people are coming back from the position. So let's see. China, Russia, let's see who he sends there.
Oh, so one more question. Where does Chabad fit into this? Because I know his rabbi was not Chabad, was not Lubavitch, and now I'm hearing that he's visiting the Rebbe's grave or something. Rabbi Schneerson's grave. Is he turning to them, or are they just like opportunists? What's going on?
Chabad will never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Chabad will join, and I'm saying it with respect. They saw an opportunity, suck. The Moroccan community is chiquita, and Chabad is worldwide.
Yeah.
So when you want to belong, you belong maybe emotionally to something chiquito for yourself, small.
Mhm.
But when you want to have headlines, you do it big.
Right. So they're a vehicle, you're saying.
It's a vehicle. Beautiful. Well said. Now, I really think, from what I read, from what I heard, from my friends, Milei has a very mystical approach to life. He speaks with his dead dog,
Okay.
and he says that he's one of his best advisors. Google it. So
Okay.
we all know the name of the dogs.
And that talking coyote was really just a talking dog.
Hi, Homer. Find your soulmate.
Hey, wait a minute. There's no such thing as a talking dog. Damn straight.
When he received, I do call what they give you when you become a president, the what? You know what I mean? They give you something. In America, no. It's
okay.
like they give you a band. It's okay. It doesn't matter. With the 5 names of the 5 dogs. So there is a magical thinking there.
A
And I'm not saying
chotemet, you
that
mean? Like a chotemet?
a chotemet, but
Right.
it's more than a chotemet because it's part of something bigger. So
Okay.
the chotemet as the 5 dogs. Trying to say is that there is a mystical view there, because for a non-Jew who didn't grow up Lubavitch to go and thank the Rabbi in the grave there is something that needs to be explored.
Yeah.
But let's see who will do that.
On one side, I'm a libertarian and I don't believe in government. So I know and I understand, and I'm very aware that there are a lot of anti-Semites over there. I get it. And I've worked with them and I've teamed up with them. And on the other side, I'm very Jewish and they don't like that I work with libertarians because they're on the other side. So, and all of a sudden this Milei guy shows up and he's
Yeah.
leaning towards Jewish and he's also libertarian. I'm like, where did he come from? I didn't know that these people existed. I thought I was the only one. But so
Yeah.
it's very exciting for me to, there's somebody else out there. Good.
Yeah, there's another one searching. He's searching. Let's see if the combination will work.
That was very interesting. And thank you so much for coming on. And I'll stop the recording here.
Amen. Thank you for having me.